Well, it's nearing autumn where I am, so I thought it'd be nice to do an autumnal picture. So I've just cut some leaves out of the garden just for a little bit of inspiration. And I thought that would be quite nice to do. A layered picture, I'm thinking. I absolutely love these colours. Look at that, it's beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I've got my cold pressed watercolour paper all taped down, and the colours I'm going to use today are burnt sienna, we've got Indian red, we've got yellow ochre, and we've got olive green. And then I've got a large flat brush, and I'm going to get my water and I'm just going to put it all over the page. We're actually just going to drop colour onto this page in layers, and we are going to do a lovely autumnal painting, making sure that that's all nice and wet. And then I am going to grab some of my colours, just drop them in. So just putting them wherever, not really thinking about it, just getting these colours on and putting them all over the page. So I haven't even washed out my brush there, just gone straight into the colour. And a bit of olive green. And get up here a little bit. Then maybe a little bit more yellow ochre. And a little bit more of the red over here. Plastic bag that I've just ripped open. You might want to use cling film, whatever you've got to hand. And I'm just gonna crinkle it up on the page. And then I'm going to let that dry. Taking inspiration from my foliage, I have got a watercolour pencil and I am just going to draw out some leaf shapes just over the top of this pattern paper and just be a bit random, drawing them out wherever feels right. Just continuing and adding, I'm just looking at the spaces that I've got, and then I've grabbed the watercolour paints, the Kuretake watercolour paints again, and I am using a watery wash. So putting the yellow ochre on first, because I still want to see that pattern come through the wash that I'm doing. So I've got a bit of yellow ochre here and there, and then just adding some other colours. I've got a bit of brown and a bit of red, and just drawing around those leaves. I've got the plastic again and I've added that to the page and let it dry again, and then once it's dried I've come back with my watercolour pencil and I'm just adding some more leaf shapes in those spaces in between where I've already done those leaf shapes. So again, a watery wash, just adding some colours, some of those autumnal colours in between, and making sure that I realise which leaves are where. So you need to really have a good look at your picture and see in between the leaves that you have already done. So you've got 2 layers of leaves going on there. So once you've done this layer, you're going to need to let it dry again because we are going to put a 3rd layer on. So once it's dried, we're going to have a look at our page and see what areas we've got left, and we're just going to add some more leaf shapes there. So you've got a little bit of limited space, so you can do some that look as though they're behind by just adding, part of a leaf, or you can, if you've got space enough, you can add full leaves. Whatever space you've got, just think how you can fill that up. So again, I've got my watercolour paint and I'm sort of mixing it up, a bit of brown, a bit of yellow ochre, a bit of the red, and just doing another wash, and this is around the 3 lots of leaves that we've got down there. So going around again, so some of these leaves have been round a couple of times, but we're just adding a little bit more depth. Just gives a bit of a shadow kind of look, as though, you know, these leaves, you've got the ones that are on top, and then you've got like layers of leaves, as you would in autumn when all the leaves fall off the trees and you're walking through the woods and you can see all those lovely scattered leaves on the floor. That's the kind of look we're trying to go for, and that's why we are changing up our paints as we go, just so that it looks as though there are lots and lots of different colours at various stages of those leaf fall. So once we've done that, once we've done all our painting around all of our leaves, then we're going to need to let it dry again. And then when I had a look at this, I thought, oh, those top leaves could do with a little bit of detail. So I decided to grab some pencils. I think I've got watercolor pencils here, and I'm just adding some detail. So sort of scribbling on the veins that would be in those leaves. Once we've done that, I've decided to get my trusty gold felt tip pen and make a border, just because I love doing this, and it really sets off your painting really nicely, especially if you're not going to put it on in a frame. You can put it up on the side and it looks as though it's got a frame, or you might just want to leave the leaf shapes there. So I'm just pulling that off. I've just heated up the tape and pulling that tape off, trying to be careful not to rip the page, and then I'm going to pull it up to the camera to show you all the lovely detail. So you can see the layers there, and I think it's turned out well. I just love all of the textures, all of the colours. I just love the upcoming season and all of the colours it brings. So I hope you get to try this. I hope you like, and thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.